Welcome back to What Matters This Week. I'm Lauren Maloney. Joining us from the Vermont State Police is Lieutenant Thomas Mozzer. Lieutenant, appreciate you being here.
Good afternoon.
All right, we are here to talk about the December recruiting initiative. There are staff shortages everywhere. The Vermont State Police is not immune. So why now? Why December and not, let's say, the new year?
Well, we have an academy class that starts in March with a Vermont State Police pre-basic that starts at the end of February. So it's not too late to apply now and get into that February-March class. We've reduced our number of months to get through the program from about 6 to 9 months down to anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. So it's still possible to get this last-minute push into the March class.
I see. Okay. How many officers do you need?
We're down about 33 to 35 positions currently, but you have to understand that 11 or 12 of those are still in the academy and they're not ready for the road until probably this summer. So we strive to get 20 or 25 per class, 2 classes a year, and we haven't hit that mark the last couple of years.
And that's important to note, right? That it does take some time to get through the academy.
Yeah, it takes about a year from start to finish, and that's not including the hiring process, which could take, like I said earlier, 6 to 8 weeks minimum.
Okay. Has the force ever experienced a shortage like we're dealing with right now?
Yeah, there's ebbs and flows. I think earlier on in my career, we were down probably 30 or 40 positions before. This is significant because I don't think there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and there's no one easy solution.
And like I mentioned to you just off camera before, even local police departments are dealing with the same thing. So like you had mentioned, when it comes to a pool of applicants, it's even more difficult to find the right people.
That's correct. The federal government and other state agencies around New England and elsewhere are hiring robustly right now. So we're competing with that dwindling pool, and other departments now starting to really get into the hiring process.
In the press release that was sent out earlier this week, it states that the state police saw applications dip considerably over the past 2 years. Why so?
I think there's a lot of different reasons for that. The last 2 years have been very difficult for law enforcement nationally with the national sentiment. That's probably a significant reason. Secondly, this generation that's getting into the workforce doesn't look at law enforcement the same way we probably did 25 or 30 years ago. I myself am going to do a 25, 26-year career, but these younger generation now typically will move to 4 or 5 different jobs or positions in their 20s and 30s. The Vermont State Police and law enforcement in general just isn't all that mobile at this time.
So what's your message then to kind of the now hiring message to get people interested in joining the state police?
Number one, we're hiring. We're not just looking for a law enforcement background. We're hiring pre-certified applicants from out of state. I believe if you have 3 years of certified full-time law enforcement in other states or other regions of the country, you can apply here and have a major chunk of the academy waived. We're looking for diverse backgrounds, not just in education, but also in the workforce. Non-traditional workers in their 20s and 30s are excellent candidates for us. Somebody who has a family who's already embedded in the state of Vermont, already part of the community, those are the people that we're seeking.
So Lieutenant, let's also talk about women, because earlier this year, the state police became the first agency in the country to sign off on that 30 by 30 pledge, which basically means that women make up at least 30% of the police recruit classes by 2030. Given the shortages now, can you still meet that?
We'll try. I mean, we're working with social media. That's our direct source of applicant pool candidates. We're also starting some TV and radio ads, and we'll be targeting veterans and females and people of diverse backgrounds.
Something else that I thought was interesting, you're hiring extra staff too, including a civilian recruiter. Is this a new position?
It is a new position. It's a full-time position. We're hoping to have that position filled in mid-January, and that will allow us to use the current recruiters in other areas like pre-basic, post-basic, and actually get out on the road as well.
Okay. So how many civilians then are you looking for as well? And I guess that includes dispatchers, correct? Or who else perhaps?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Our dispatch service center is depleted and has limited resources as well. So we're not just looking for uniformed troopers. We're looking for civilian staff positions to include dispatchers and admin staff. It's really part of the entire team.
And what's the training like per se for a dispatcher?
Dispatcher has a similar FTO process, just like a trooper does. And I wish I could give you more information on that. I'm not sure if it's 6 or 7 months of an FTO process working in the dispatch center for the supervisor.
Okay. Let's talk about the size of the Vermont State Police. Why is it so important that you get staffed up and now in 2021 going on 22?
Well, you have to understand that Vermont State Police is the largest agency in the state right now, and we cover about 80% of the Townsend population, or I should say the area we cover in the state of Vermont. And we have to look forward. I mentioned earlier, it takes about a year from start to finish to get somebody through the process. So looking forward, we might be down 30 or 35 now, but that could be 45 or 50 by the end of the year, by the end of next year. So we want to really start to work those numbers.
Lieutenant, I'm sure you know that people get worried when it comes to the word shortage, and certainly when it comes to an agency that is supposed to serve and protect us. So maybe the obvious question, can you still do your job to the best of your ability right now?
At this point, yes, we are covering all our shifts with the current road troopers that are on the road, and we're opening shifts up to overtime to cover those shortages. So there is no shortage on the road at this time, but we in the future, if we don't get additional applicants and additional troopers on the road, you could see some of our positions morphing back into road trooper positions to make up for the shortage.
And do you still pair up when it comes to sending out a crew, or is it sometimes one trooper here, one trooper there?
Well, typically every road trooper is in their own vehicle, but if they're responding to something that needs 2 or 3 troopers, then all 2 or 3 respond to the shift.
Okay. Your final message, trooper, to get the word out when it comes to hopefully getting more people on the force.
We're hiring now. We want compassionate, competent, committed, reliable, and honest people to apply for this position. This is a great state to raise a family in. It's one of the safest states in the nation, and I think we need to really look at creating a diverse population here in Vermont, and we're willing to take out-of-staters to come in and do that.
Okay. Lieutenant Thomas Mozzer, appreciate you joining us.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.